Hi, welcome to Capturing Nature's Beauty. I'm glad to see some of you came back. Today we're going to do a more interesting painting. It's going to be a little more detailed. As you can see, there's a lot happening here. We got vertical trees, and we got vertical shadows, or actually reflections, and then we got horizontal shadows. So that makes it kind of interesting. We got all kinds of things going on here. And of course we got a row of trees that are horizontal there, and the edge of the land is horizontal. So there's a lot happening in there. But we'll get through it. We'll get through it. So I think I'll start. We're going to make up some sky color. And my paints, I got titanium yellow, primary yellow, a titanium white, primary yellow, yellow ochre, orange, transparent orange, king's blue, and cobalt blue. And see, that should be enough colors because that's not too varied in the spectrum. So we'll start, get some white, get some king's blue. Yep, we're gonna have, that would have been fun. There we go. Cobalt blue. Now the sky, higher up you go, is darker. And the lower you get to the horizon, it's lighter. This is pretty much one color, but I don't think I'll go with that. I think I want that to have a little variation. I use a separate palette knife for my whites. That way there, I keep the clean color there. Whites, I like be able to grab it and have it clean. All right. Let's see, that looks pretty good. Maybe touch more of that. There we go. So I'm going to do a light wash with some terps. All right, so we're going to just put some, very lightly, a wash like. There's not a lot happening out there in that sky. That's where a big brush comes in handy. There we go. Now, we've got a little darker on the top. And we'll blend that in. Some more here. And some more a little darker up here. And I think I'll add a little lighter color on the bottom. There we go. Now, to make it somewhat interesting, well, let's put some clouds in there. And then wipe a little bit off down here. There we go. Then we get the fan brush. And that'll turn right into a cloud, you see. That was easy. Have to be some of the easiest clouds to make. All right. Now the next thing, we're going to put these background trees in there. And the further back you go, you lose a lot of the yellow. And that's why a lot of times if you look in the distance, it's blue, has a blue tint to it. So I think if I add a little bit of blue, not so much warm colors, that'll push that back, give us a little more dimension. So we'll put some blue trees up there. Not fully blue, but on a bluish tint. So I'll take a little bit of yellow. And everybody knows yellow and blue makes green. There we go. And again, I'm going to keep this very loose. Get some chirps down here. There you go. Yeah. Now see, that paint is wet up there. So whatever yellow I put on is going to be diluted by the wet blue. So I'll make this a little bit stronger. So when the blue changes a little bit, I'll get the color I want. So we got kinds of trees. Yeah. That's too green. Put the green over there. Start fresh again. So take the orange. I'll take a little bit of yellow. And some white. Transparent orange. That's more of a red. You know what? I think we need a little bit of yellow ochre in that too. We want to tone that down a bit. No, we got to do it darker. More. That looks more like a rust color. So that's what we're after. Pretty good, pretty good. Touch of blue in there. Yeah. I'll put a little more of that in there. Here we go. So we'll get this brush here. Take that. And we'll put that in there. This is really not trees, it's more like, looks like just brush. Just enough so if you wanted to walk through there, you'd get all tangled up and you wouldn't go far. This is in Milford. This is the cemetery down by Wendy's, Pine Grove. Nice area to walk around. There we go. Now you can see I'm not paying too much time, effort into this part because this is what is also off in the distance and there's not much detail to it. It's like a bunch of steel wool. That's what it looks like back there. So we just want to give the illusion of what that is. And I think I'm going to redden that up just a bit. I think that's what I'll do. Yeah. Okay, let's see how we can rid that up. Yeah, I like that. Now, a paper towel. Just go dab that on there like that. But I wonder what the heck's he doing? But I'll use anything. I'll use my fingers and anything that gives it that look that it's random. There we go. Let me soften it up. There we go. And we'll get another piece, and we're going to do same thing, soften up here. It's not working. Here it goes with the finger. Okay. Yeah, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I'm looking for. Easy now. Easy, baby. This here will soften it, the edges. Because the further away you are, the more like blurry it gets. You don't see the exact different leaves or the edge of the trees. It's all blurry. And that's what we're attempting to do here by doing this. It's a good way of doing it when you're angry. You really, get right into it. See how you like me now. There we go. Now I am going to take a little bit of that and mix that in up here. Because there is some of this orange further back, but a little bit higher up in the trees. There's no straight cutoff like. So we do this to gradually move it on back. Yeah. So you can see we haven't done anything that's really hard yet. Just add some of that more red in here now. Because we're getting down closer to us, we'll see more color. And you see I'm staying down near the bottom of this orange part down here, making that a little darker. There we go. Even more red down here. There we go. There we go. Okay. Now, this here green is really, what's what I want, too much of the same, all the same color and hue. So let's change that up. Let's change that up, a little bit of that. There's some blue in there. Just a little bit blue there. Yeah, we'll change it. Now the sun's coming from this side, which is the left coming across. So this side is going to have the shadows. So you want to keep that in mind when you're doing that, where your trees are. Now your trees don't have to be exactly what the picture is. See, that's just a reference. You change it up, do whatever you like. And really, there's no mistakes. Your art is your interpretation. And if you want to paint like the Impressionist, well, then you work in that direction. And mistakes might be considered something that they didn't do, I guess. But still, there's no law that says you can't change that up. So that's one of the good things about art. It's for fun. It's to get there and do not care about what anybody says, unless you want to learn something from what they're doing. And you learn from everybody, like all the artists do. And we always learn. We're learning every day. And that's good. That keeps it from getting too mundane. YouTube's got tons of stuff on there. Yeah. And we're fortunate to have some of the country's best artists around. And they're starting to put out some videos nowadays, which is really good, with some green. Let's take a dip at that. There we go. So there we go. Now that ends right about here, but I'm going to move it over here just a little bit. Go around that bend a bit here. There we go. That's just a basic color we're putting down. That's not the finished color. All right. There we go. Now, over here, looks like there's some lighter yellow there, and I like that, so I think I'll try to do that too. Right over here, there's some a little bit lighter. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Mix it up. You see, I'm not really doing anything that's really technical here. I'm just having fun. I'm just playing with the paint. And sometimes you get some good effects when you do that. There's no stress, no worries. Nobody's looking over your shoulder. You do that and you play around and you can have some fun. Okay, so now we're going to have to put in this here area here where it's a road. We don't have to put the road in though. We can just make that grass. We'll try that, see what happens. So this is going to be the grass area. That comes down. Put some yellow in there, boy. Put some yellow in there. Yes. There we go. There we go, come around here. Now that's a little bit greener than it actually is. But we'll fix that. We'll fix that. Everything is on a warm tint here. The only cool tint we're going to have in this that's really cool is the water and the touch of the sky. So you get a lot of contrast going on there. Okay, now we got to do the other side. I'm going to switch hands. Look, okay. I must show you just how much I'm going carefree here. Easy does it, no problem. Now, at home, you would you'd let it dry, and you'd play around with it a little bit more here and there, and you work it and do more detail. But trying to do today is kind of like capture that picture, that what first hits you when you see that picture, what you first thought. Isn't that nice? Isn't that something about that is really pretty? And you look some more at it, and you say, well, it's those colors. Those colors. Actually, I should have taped that off there. Too late. That's all right. That's what the lines are for. Yeah. So you can see I'm not a professional teacher. I'm making mistakes all over the place. But I have as much fun as anybody. Okay, now some that. I won't put that in there. That should lighten. Yeah, that's lighten it up, right? That's doing its job. That's doing its job. Too green. Let's add some of that. There we go. I have some variation. There's a variation here. Okay, now we'll get back down here. Add some of this stuff. Yeah, add a little more warm colors to these greens here. This line here is here for, if it goes on a stretcher, it'll be 16 by 20. And this is going to be the actual, where the picture is. So that's why I got those lines there. Yeah, there we go. Okay, now up here, I want some more of that color in there. There we go. So you can't have light without dark. It's like yin and yang. So now I'm looking at where the shadows are going to be from the trees. So if I have everything too dark and there's a shadow, you're not going to see it. And you got to have your coffee too. There we go. Okay. So this is Just a little bit more orange over here. So we'll take that. There we go. We're just touching it up here and there. This gets warm. This gets warm down around here. The colors get a little warmer. These are a little more greener and yellow. And we don't need that road in there. I took that out. And if I should want it down the road, I can always put it in. Down the road. Ah, did you get that? Here we go. There we go. Just warm these up. See, I'm doing this, and I'll paint the trees over it. That way it's hard to get up to the line, come up to the line, and then start on this side and not make it look like that's what you did. So if I can, most times I paint the trees in after. Besides, I usually work what's further back and I come forward as much as I can. Top, down, front, back. There we go. Let's see here. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit more, warm this yellow up a little bit. I'm taking some, that makes too much green, more yellow. See, I'm putting the paint on a little bit heavier now over here because I'm looking for the texture. Get it be more red. And that is red, Verne. Oh, no doubt about that. There we go. Now see, Verne, you reddened that up too much, didn't you? And this is kind of red here. Let's see, I'm going to pull that up here a little bit with this cloth. Pull it up a little bit. What's on the towel, I'll just move it up a little. Okay. That's getting there. Now I think we can work on the water a little bit. Well, let me put a little bit. Yeah, for now. And we do the reflection of the sky, which is going to be the reflection from the top. It'll be shown in the water here, but it'll be darker. Reflections are darker. The principle is still the same, where it's got to be lighter on the bottom, which be the lighter on the top here. The bottom there is the top of this. And the dark is there, the dark is down the bottom. So, I'm just going to do this just lightly. And now I'm going to put some of this here. Maybe a little bit more weight with that. And we'll just put this here for now. love using the knife. Love using the knife. This is a bit whiter over here. We'll put some of that there. We'll put some of that there. And we'll take some of that blue. And put that here. Yeah. There we go. We'll make a nice mess. We'll make a mess right here. That's it. And down here, we're going to go really dark down here. Really dark down here. And we'll take some more of that. Put some of that there. There we go. There we go. Yeah, all done. No kidding, no kidding. Coffee time. So, take a paper towel and clean that off. Straight down. Okay, now we'll go across this way. Like Bob Ross says, 3 hairs and some hair. And a bunch of paper towels to vote, I guess. There we go. It's good to step back. I thought I shut that thing off. There we go. All right. Got the water in there. Okay. Now we got to go back and touch up because we overstepped our bounds. We'll just do that a little bit here. Now the lines, if we go perfectly horizontal, the ground's going to look flat. The ground's on an angle, so we have to have our brush strokes on the angle too. Okay? And if it curves, you got to curve a little bit. And that's where you get your dimension of the ground. There we go. There we go. Okay. Now this ground slopes fast. Right here it cuts down pretty tight. So, there we go. There we go. There we go. Just kind of all right. Take them down. So if you got a dirty brush with the right color, you can use it up wherever you want. It comes down a bit. All right, now do a little bit. Let's do a little bit here. Here we go. Get this blue on the edge of this touching that orange. Makes it look a gray dark color like. Okay. Maybe I'll use a knife to see if I blend that this way. Now the brush. That'll work for now. Okay, now let's put some tree trunks in there. Okay, oh, here we go. We'll put this tree down here. Okay. Here we go. This tree comes right over here like that. Trees aren't perfectly straight or perfectly round. And there's no law that says you have to draw the tree exactly the way it is on the picture. If you like something different, then you can do it. And then ends right about there. This one starts down here, goes all the way up. This is good for the bigger trees. I'll change brushes when I get to the smaller trees. Using this brush right here is not allowing me to be too exact, and I don't want to be. I want to be old craggly tree. There. Here we go. Put it right there. There we go, right in there. This tree doesn't go right back down. We'll take that off right there. All right. All right, I think I'll switch brushes now. So now we'll just fine tune this a little bit. Okay. This tree goes down there, goes it up there, and the bottom here, there's the bottom here, tree coming down here. It just touches down here. There's a smaller one there. There's another one that comes right down next to this one. All right. I think in my drawing I was a little bit too free. That's all right. That's all right. We can fix that. We can fix that. Here we go. We'll make this a bigger one. I think this should be a bigger one here. There we go. Cut right there. There we go. All right, that's all the big trees. There we go. Put this tree up in there. This place has a lot of trees. And in the background there, it becomes a park, which is a nice place, especially in the summer. They play games, ball games, and they have a place for picnics and picnic tables. It's really nice. There's a few people in this cemetery that was in the Civil War. You can see the badges, flags, or whatever it is. Milford was really in the Civil War big time, so much so that they made the Memorial Library. That's the old part with the cannons out front. That was the Grand Army of the Republic. That was their hall. So, you put another tree in here. I'm gonna let this dry, and we'll tack it again later. We got to do some shadows, but the shadows will be the last thing we're going to do, because they got to go over the water, and I want that to dry. And I'm going to put a lot more branches in there. So we're going to let this dry, and we'll be doing some shadows, and that we'll be doing some glazing. So you get to see what that's like. So I hope you enjoyed it. I know I have, because I love to paint, period. And I hope you like too, and I hope I've encouraged you to try it. It's relaxing, and it's a good hobby to have. A lot of people get enjoyment out of looking at it or painting. So until next time, grab a brush.